didn't you just shoot 2 men for touching your truck? They killed your brother. Made Stack one of them. My beau. Said they was gonna kill Lisa. If now ain't go time, then I don't know what is.
Rich, multi-layered, transcendent, and boldly genre-defying, Sinners stands as a landmark achievement in modern cinema. Serving as a powerful showcase for director Ryan Coogler, this film is a storytelling triumph. Brimming with imagination and intention, it emerges as an instant classic in the vampire canon, yet like the finest entries in horror, it reaches far beyond its genre boundaries. As Coogler himself has urged, Sinners demands to be experienced in a theater, not solely for its visually striking moments, though 2 scenes in particular are seared into memory, but for its soundscape. Ludwig Göransson's blues-infused score envelops the viewer, commanding attention with haunting resonance. Sinners is fundamentally a film about music, its capacity to imprison a soul in a single moment, then liberate it for a lifetime. Here, music operates as both metaphor and mythology, a cultural force that offers salvation and damnation in equal measure. The narrative begins with a mystical prologue that positions musicians as conduits between the living and the dead. Twin brothers Smoke and Stack, both portrayed by Michael B. Jordan, return home. One after a globe-trotting tour in World War I, the other fresh from Chicago's criminal underworld in service to Al Capone. Flush with unexplained riches, the pair decide to open a juke joint, purchasing a dilapidated mill from a patronizing landowner with possible clan ties. Their first recruit is their young cousin Sammy, Miles Caton, a pastor's son whose extraordinary musical talent carries both promise and danger. His father warns that the blues leads only to spiritual ruin. As the twins traverse the town assembling the team for their joint, a vivid community comes into focus. Smoke's wife Annie, Wunmi Mosaku, a cook with a secretive mastery of voodoo, Stack's ex Mary, Haley Steinfeld, a woman passing for white who returns to bury her mother and stir up old wounds. Delta Slim, Delroy Lindo, a smooth-talking blues veteran with stories to spare. And Bo and Grace, Yao and Lee Jun Lee, Chinese-American shopkeepers providing provisions and signage, all play vital roles. As the music begins and the juke erupts with life, the 3 protagonists grapple with personal connections, lingering traumas, and the weight of community legacy. The twins dream of building a haven, a place of joy that offers refuge from the lingering shadows of slavery and systemic poverty. But they also need the venture to be profitable. More than an hour passes before any trace of the supernatural surfaces. In lesser hands, such extensive world building might stall momentum, but Coogler imbues every moment with purpose. This careful foundation allows the audience to form deep emotional ties to the characters, ensuring the eventual genre shift lands with powerful impact. Supporting roles that might have been expendable in another film become unforgettable here. The pivotal moment arrives when Sammy performs his emotional ballad, I Lied to You. What follows is a transcendent depiction of music's spiritual power, evoking such emotional intensity that it seems to lift the entire theater into a shared trance. The combination of Autumn Durald Arkapa's luminous cinematography and Göransson's swelling, soul-bearing score crystallizes this sequence as a masterclass in cinematic storytelling, an illustration of music's ability to transcend time, space, and mortality. Only then are the vampires revealed. Led by Jack O'Connell's enigmatic Irish immortal, Remick. Drawn to Sammy's gift, Remick believes it may hold the key to contacting the spirits of his own lost lineage. From this point, the narrative plunges into a brutal and visceral descent, while the structure that follows may tread familiar ground, invoking the classic heroes under siege trope. The stylistic verve with which it's executed ensures unrelenting engagement. The Juke's patrons must survive until sunrise, with the vampiric threat lurking just beyond the threshold, limited by the genre's time-honored no invite, no entry rule, the danger of liberation imposed rather than chosen. This philosophy finds chilling expression in the second of the film's standout set pieces, a bonfire-lit field where Remick and his converts erupt into a wild, ecstatic performance of Rocky Road to Dublin. At first glance, the scene exudes cathartic unity, the only moment where all characters, regardless of race, sing in harmony. But this harmony is a facade. What appears as freedom is revealed to be domination. Remick wields cultural traditions not in reverence, but as weapons, puppeteering his victims in a grotesque display of conquest masked as celebration. The moment becomes a haunting metaphor for cultural colonization, where identity is stripped in the name of salvation. Sinners wears its cinematic lineage with pride. In a letter to Variety, Coogler cited a range of influences, from John Carpenter and Stephen King to George Lucas and Nicholas Roeg, a combination as daring as it is eclectic. Echoes of Midnight Mass, From Dusk Till Dawn, and Ganja and Hess ripple through the film's aesthetic and spiritual design, enriching its texture without diluting its originality. The result is a film that resists easy classification, a bold fusion of horror, historical fiction, myth, and music. Its exploration of race, power, art, and legacy unfolds across a canvas as lush as it is bloody. There are elements not yet mentioned, a subplot involving Native American vampire hunters, the sensuality of its romantic arcs, the lingering shots that beg for endless analysis. Each layer offers something new on every viewing. In its 2-hour and 20-minute runtime, Sinners might tempt accusations of indulgence, but for those who love horror and cinema at its most daring, indulgence is exactly the point. This is a banquet, a reckoning, a revelation, and like all great vampire tales, it will stay with you long after the last drop.